All right, let's talk about finding some new customers. How in the world are we going to go about finding new customers as brand new entrepreneurs? There's a lot to know, a lot of secrets, a lot of tips, and most of it's just common sense, though, in putting things into perspective. So I'm Steve Carver. Proud to say that we're putting together what we call an association, and we're calling it the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. Everyone that joins these programs that is coming back and taking part in helping us move the program forward. I consider you members and associates, and I'm so proud to be associated with you. It's quite a group now and growing every year, so you're always welcome back. On my journey, this is number 969 tonight. Just keep clicking along, and I'm so happy that you're joining me on my journey, and I'm so pleased to be a part of yours and look forward to working with you any possible way that we can. I'm not a lawyer or an accountant, just a fellow that's been in business for quite a few years and very much in business today. I've had a day that started at 5 o'clock, and after I close off tonight, I've got about 8 customers waiting for me to send them quotations and information. So entrepreneurship is a challenge. Excuse me. What I want to say, though, is I'm here giving you free advice. And the very best advice I can tell you is you get some friends, get a mentor, find a place that you can bounce ideas off. Don't make any major decisions about your business or your financial security unless you bounce it off to someone that can kind of help you evaluate where you are. The small business centers are the perfect place for that. All the directors, and especially our great friend Katie, is very proficient. When you talk to her, like talking to me, it will be confidential. I don't spread your news out to anyone without your permission, and she certainly works on a confidential basis as well. So I'll look forward to hearing some news from her a little later tonight as well. But Pamlico College has a great small business center there in Bayboro. Y'all all know about it. Everyone on board is familiar with it, except for Lena. I don't think you visited there, and Stephanie, but take my word for it. It's a great place to get help. Let's use that chat board tonight if you want me to send you any information or ask questions. Katie will be monitoring that and interrupt me anytime y'all got a question you want to stop and do it. In your handouts, the main handout tonight is number 969. You've got the others, the drill skills and homework assignments. And a real important handout is the SEO search engine information that I want to encourage you to read on your own. We'll talk about that a little later. The way you earn more and more certificates and more impressive, but mainly the way that you improve your sustainability and profitability and your self-confidence to keep moving forward. I'll guarantee you that if you complete these homework assignments, you will feel good about it and better about yourself because it kind of forces you to think about things you hadn't thought about before. Several of you have started sending these in. I'm so proud of you. That is the best gratification you can give me as a coach, and I appreciate you doing it. That's why I come to work, to try to help y'all move forward. And when you're doing these homework assignments, I know that you're making good progress with them. Some people just go the extra mile. We got Tim that's been with us. I've missed him at the webinars. Katie, I hope you're seeing him and staying in touch. I've kind of lost him in these meetings, but he may be busy at night trying to get people's work out, so I understand that. But he's a great fellow, and I want his business to go forward. Nicole also doing a great job with her entrepreneurship. So proud of her. Wonderful young lady. I've actually bought some product from her and was so happy the way she served me. Angela's working hard to branch out and keep her businesses going and getting other people involved, and a great supporter of the program. Glad to have her. And Keisha, number 1 in my book, just a wonderful young lady who's working hard to raise children and raise a business at the same time. That's quite a challenge, so congratulations to her. She usually comes in a little late after she deals with kids. Anyone who's got children in school these days knows you've got something to do every night with some type of ceremony or gathering to go to, so we understand. And big round of applause and a pat on the back for Beverly, getting her business open and running. Showed us a little video earlier. Thank you, Beverly. Looking forward to seeing some great videos from you, since you've told the world now through these webinars that you are in the video business and you're going to get in it as soon as you get your store open. I want to be in a position to send you a lot of customers so you can make some money doing that as well. Christina, #1 in my book, just a great entrepreneur study. Looking forward to watching you grow your businesses. We miss hearing you and seeing you, so I want to get you where you can be talking to us and doing the videos with us. But thank you for being on board and for being here every night. You're the best, no doubt. Jimmy Packer down in Garland has been visiting with us. He's cutting hair tonight. He's not listening yet. He usually logs in as soon as he can. He's made some major moves since we started this, Katie, encouraging him. He's started adding his profit centers, and for the first time, he's got actual products to sell in his barbershop, and got affiliated with a national company that we're working on the website with him now to get some extra sales with products. And well, I think we're going to see his business double and triple in just a few months. It's just amazing what you can do. And Sarita, she's a master associate, been coming to several of the programs, but she's decided to kick in gear. She's about finished all of her schooling and just doing a wonderful job. And thank you, Sarita, because she sent us a video getting started with her first video. She's done this herself, so let's share that.
Hi, my name is Sarita Thompson, and I'm the owner of Taylor's Designs. I'm here to tell you about my business. I do virtual assistants, I do business cards, logos, and I also do photography. I'm a graphic design student, and I'm here to help you with your needs. Give me a call at 910-379-9680. Thank you.
That is absolutely fantastic. I am so proud of her for doing that. She is just coming a long way and doing a lot of studying to try to move forward with her business. And Rayford also attends these. He usually comes in late. Both of these folks work up until the sun goes down. But Rayford Wells over in Clinton is doing a great job getting his business growing. And for the first time, Rayford's got a video actually related to his business. So let's just take it in. Now, this is called a video clip. And Sarita actually helped him do this because clips are easy to make and sometimes are more effective than long-running ads. You can put these clips on Facebook. People will see them, get your message, and move on. And you can put these at the front or back of other Facebook messages or in your email and on your website, so it can be very, very effective. So let's just see this little ad right here. So as small and short as that ad, the message is critical. It's got look and hook because the images are bright, bold, red, good colors. The music is good to grab your attention. The phone number is there because if you need someone to help you tow, you need to be able to call someone to come and get you. So little video clips are very good. And if you're going to do some cable TV advertising, it's really important to do that as well. And Stephanie's with us tonight. She's new in the marketing game. She's in education as her first career, but really interested in moving into marketing. And she's serving right now, helping me. She's one of my contractors, and I'm throwing a lot of work her way and challenge her, and she's helping me deal with some of the material that I send to y'all. So Stephanie, welcome. We're proud of you and look forward to working with you and watch your business grow. An amazing young lady that I'm so happy to have on our team and becoming an associate. And then the wonderful Tom Davis, Mr. Personality, the website. He is the dude, and I'm so proud of him. He's just impressed us so much this week. Tom, thank you for all the work that you're doing. He has zipped through his homework assignments. He's almost got them all done. He will get an extraordinary extra mile certificate, which I'll mention that Sarita helps us do these certificates, so we're going to be able to get her started to work. But Tom, this stuff is great. You got your QR code there. You got your business card. You got your photos. So proud of you. You mentioned that you've been working on your mobile page for the telephones, and that looks really great. I like what you're up to. Congratulations on that. So impressed with your vision, mission, promise statement. It is really important that we all take time to put our thinking in words. And Tom, you did a great job with that. I shared them with everyone. They're in your email if you'll take a chance to read through them. A very serious effort, and I know that didn't happen by itself. You had to give that some time. And I really appreciate the way you did restructure the 30 drill skills. I hope that as you were doing this, that you were starting to own these ideas that'll help your business be more sustainable and more profitable. Just thank you so much for showing all of us how to make it done, and let me share those samples with everyone so the rest of you, if you want to really take a serious step in the future of your business, do the same thing Tom did and complete these assignments. A great image here for a podcast that he's working on. These images are all about how to find customers, and I will tie all this together in just a little bit. Very amazing. And we got Chuck, the fellow that's in the woodworking business, who sent us a really nice raw video a little bit earlier. And I asked Maddie McComb, one of my virtual assistants, to see what she could do with it. So why don't we just take a look here and see what Maddie did with Chuck's video. What I want you to notice is music, background work that she's done, the way she sharpened the images that she had. Chuck's image was kind of cloudy. Maddie was able to sharpen it. And then I asked her to put some scrolling text at the bottom so that as Chuck is talking, if you want to stop and write down a phone number or make some notes, you can do that, or even do a screenshot off the video so you can talk to them about making something for you. You can do so much with a video. It is absolutely incredible. So let's take a look at this. I hope you can hear it all right. Sometimes these videos don't hear good, so I'm putting my mic up in my earpiece here. So let's see what Maddie was able to do for Chuck.
Hi, my name's Chuck, and I'm in the all-wooden Uniques workshop where I make various things. I create and design various things like furnitures of various kinds. I love making boxes of different shapes and sizes, jewelry boxes they may become, and of different kinds of wood. Some of our rather exotic kinds of woods. I love making these things. Several months ago, my daughter sent me a picture, and she said, "Hey, I really like what's in this picture. Can you make it for me?" It was a primitive. She likes primitives. And I said, "Sure, I'll make it." And I did, and she loved it. So whenever I go visit my daughter up in Maryland, I look at all the things I've made for her, and I am so happy that it makes her happy that these things are in her house. My granddaughter, just the other day, mentioned that she would like to have an island in her kitchen. I said, "I would be happy to make that for you. Just give me the dimensions, and I'll go from there." And so that's what she's going to do. Maybe I can do the same for you. You have your eye on something that's really special. I can custom make that for you, just for you. And by the way, if you like heavenly breezes or musical breezes, if you like enchanting sounds outside your house, I custom make wind chimes that are sure to gather or garner your attention. Again, my name is Chuck, 252-808-7666. Look forward to doing some business with you.
Wow. Chuck, that is a great commercial. It started with your raw material, and you can take your telephone, my friends, and shoot a video with your telephone. Make it long enough that gives the editor room to cut in and cut out, maybe to enhance certain areas, to do inserts, as Maddie was able to do with Chuck's raw video. And the process is you get it on your phone. It's going to be too long to email, so you'll need to learn how to use the app called Google Drive, which is a little app you can use so you can email those packages or to me or anyone else that they can convert it to YouTube, or you can learn to convert it to YouTube, and then an editor can go to work for you and insert things. People that know what they're doing, it don't take them long to do it. It's amazing what folks can do with a lot of talent, imagination, dramatic thinking, understanding, and before you know it, you've got a first-class commercial that you can play right now on any television station in America, and people would start calling you, Chuck, because you came through as an individual, open, honest, transparent, and just being yourself and mentioning family and friends and your granddaughter and your wife, that makes people want to do business with you instead of daggone it, Amazon.com. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship, is taking our strong suits and our ability to communicate with other people that we have common denominators with and turn it into business. How do you find customers? You help them find you. And videos are certainly the most effective way that we can be doing in today's world. So let me tell you, my friends, if you're not here with these videos yet for your business, number one, you're not having as much fun as we are. Number two, you're not letting customers know where you are and what you're up to. I want you to start working on these videos. Katie is working hard on improving her enhancement and skills to help you with that. She's talking about maybe even putting some equipment in. Beverly's only a few miles away, and she's already set up to help you get it. She's busy with her store now, but she said that one of her next steps was to be able to invite people to come in and actually help them do the videos, or you'll be able to send your raw footage to them. I've got 2 or 3 people that can help you. And is it really great expensive? It is not. It is not. I was able to skip lunch a couple of days and pay for that enhancement we did on Chuck's, and so happy to do it. So listen to me. Get off your rear end and let's get out here and start making some videos. Let's make it happen. Let people know where you are. Send them to us, because just like I was playing that for you guys, Chuck can take that right now and put it on his Facebook ads. He can put it in his Google My Business ads, and business people will start calling you tomorrow. So if you want to buy an extra hamburger next week, put a video up tonight and you'll make enough money to buy a hamburger next week. 3 weeks from now, you'll be able to buy a steak. How about that? What do you need to do? Get into it. Do your drill skills. Understand the 27 times rule. Know what Raving Fan customers can do for you. Your mobile, your Google My Business, how important landing pages are, testimonials, and understanding the magic marketing moment. That's what I want you guys to do, and you've been with it long enough. You've heard these now long enough that it's laying on your skin. I know you got Teflon skin, but if we put it out here now for 4 weeks in a row, let's let it start sinking in and you applying all these strategies to your business. The 40 drill skills, I can't say enough about it, except I want you to own it and rewrite them. I showed Tom showed us how to rewrite them, just a few short sentences. That will be so important for you to do that. The drill skills now, let's go through what we know. Week 1, why do you want a business plan? To tell you what's next. A marketing plan to tell you what's next. The business plan is to tell you what's left. 3 kinds of profit centers, and you need all 3. You need all 3 in your business, Beverly. I want you to have some profit centers to bring in new customers. I want you to have some designed for repeat business, and I want you to have some big ticket items. Raving Fan customers are so important, they're going to keep people coming back to you. Don't be discouraged if the first 2 or 3 weeks or months things aren't working out along your business plan. Why? Because business plans are written to be rewritten. Don't throw it away, just make adjustments. Always connect the dots to make decisions that make sense. And thank you, Chuck, for saying, and by the way, because that's the thing that said, hey man, I want a wind chime, and as soon as you give me a menu, I'm going to order and buy one from you. I wouldn't have known that if by the way hadn't have been on your mind. That's how important it is. And Beverly, I want you to have little stickers all over the place as you're walking around with a customer and they're picking up this. I want you to automatically say, and by the way, I've also got this and this and this that connects to it. People will love you for doing that, because you know why they carry money around in their pocket? To spend. They really want to reach in their purses and wallets and hand you their money, and I want you to have it, because that is positive cash flow. How do you not catch fish down there in the Pamlico? 3 rules. Keep fresh bait in the water, keep fresh bait in the water, and keep fresh bait in the water. How you don't catch customers? Keep sending out promotions. Keep sending out new videos. Keep sending out emails. Keep changing your Facebook ads. What you put up last week is old news. We have to keep changing and giving people fresh bait. The answer to the question is what? How do you find, what's the best way to find customers? We're going to help them find us, help them find you. And that's what tonight's program is all about, is using these tools we talked about for the last 2 weeks, how to use those tools and actually help customers find you. Now look, our business can't be all things to all people. However, it must be what? Everything to some people. Let's say that together. Our business can't be all things to all people. However, it must be everything to some people, because those some people will become your raving fan customers. Caution now, once the cash flow starts coming in, you start saving a little money. Put aside a reserve, because if you start paying off bills before you have to, or trying to get out of debt and make payments in advance, you're going to use up your reserve, and then you'll get in trouble, because let me tell you, there are curveballs coming your way. Just this week, Norman and I found out that one of our air conditioning units is starting to leak Freon to the point we can't keep filling it. And what used to cost $2,500 for an air conditioning unit is $6,200 now. Now, that was a curveball for us, so we don't have to start putting some money aside. That's the way small business always is. All right, what's the difference in marketing and advertising? Marketing is the long term. Advertising is the short term. Tonight we're going to talk about marketing in general, but always you're going to need to plan a marketing budget. You can't get a return on your investment unless you make an investment. Who's your toughest competitor? It's yourself. It's the distractions in our lives. That's just a fact. So we have distractions that we can't throw away or ignore. I know that. But we also have to learn to deal with the distractions and to set priorities so we can move our business forward, by golly, and keep the business moving forward. How do you do that? Every day when you get up, you have to say the top 2 or 3 things you want to get done before lunch, and to make that happen. So think about that. What priorities can you change to help you? The definition of fair market value, so important, because we always want to purchase below fair market value so we can sell above fair market value. This is a definition that I want you to learn. It's on your quiz coming up. Look and hook advertising. It must have a call to action in it. It must be good enough to look at, but it needs a hook in there to encourage people to come on and buy now. Positive cash flow, more money coming in than going out. Negative cash flow, more money going out than coming in. We got to stay on top of that. Next week, we'll spend a lot of time on cash flow. We do not want to do take it or leave it merchandising, because that's going to drive customers away. The 3 times rule helps us to start pricing our products, learn how to price. If you don't know how, you don't know what the price should be on something, multiply it times 3, and by golly, see how that stacks up in the marketplace. The 27 times rule teaches us that customers are going to wait 9 times before they actually buy something from you on a big ticket item. They'll send you emails, talk to you. They want to be satisfied that you're for real. So if they're going to wait 9 times, and I'm going to tell you, they will miss seeing your ads 2 out of 3 times. So the 27 times rule says that when we're planning our business plan and our marketing plans, that we need to think in terms of ads need to be out there 27 times before people will buy from us. It also teaches us that if we've got small ads out there all the time, we're going to beat that 27 times rule with low-cost ads, and that means we won't have to spend as much money and run big ads as often to be accepted. Cut your budgets way down if you apply the 27 times rule. Yes, if, no but negotiating. Week after next, we're going to be talking about bookkeeping, negotiating, and forecasting. We get into it real heavy, but yes, if negotiating is saying keep the shoppers talking long enough till you can close the sales. The most 2 important web pages. Number 1 is your mobile page. Number 2 are the landing pages. We'll dive into them deep a little bit later on. What keeps customers coming back? 40% of it's customer service. How well your product line lines up. How nice a lighting do you have? Your displays look really nice. You got a store that looks absolutely fantastic like Beverly's does over in Aurora. We want a lot of people to go in there and enjoy that customer service. But you know what's going to bring them back more often than customer service? It's hospitality. It's how they feel about doing business with you. It's how Beverly greets them. It's how she makes them feel important. It's how she listens to them instead of talking all the time. Hear what they're saying. Take notes. And Beverly, I want you to have a place that you can register and have people have a ticket for a drawing so that you can keep them coming back for the drawing, but mainly so you can start feeding your database with names and email addresses. This is the most important week that you're ever going to have in your business, because when you start things like this and you stay with them, you'll get the benefit of the dividends for a long, long time. But remember that hospitality keeps them coming back. Week 4, here we are tonight, brand new to you. I want you to learn how to read and send nonverbal communications and how important they are. Reading and sending nonverbal communications and how important they are. That's in face-to-face meetings. It's in talking on the phone. It's in the messages you send by email. It's the way you do your videos. Your nonverbal communications sometimes tell more than what you're actually saying with words and voice. Are you an assertive person? Some people say assertive is kind of a negative word and I don't want to be there. Let me assure you that folks are not motivated until someone is assertive in the room. And if you don't be the entrepreneur that's responsible to keep your business moving forward, then how about hanging this title around your neck? I am assertive when I need to be. Because customers need to be moved to positive cash flow. Employees need to be moved to get things done that are important for you. And of course, sometimes we have to be assertive with ourselves as we're doing priority setting. Be assertive, not to the point to being obnoxious, but be assertive to make sure that the things get done that need to get done. In week 7, we're going to talk about tax avoidance and tax evasion. One is good, one is bad. Tax avoidance is a good thing. Tax evasion is against the law. It's a bad thing. But we're going to talk about the things that you can do for tax avoidance to help your business be more profitable. It's not how many times we get knocked down that counts. What really counts is us keep getting back up. Because as I said earlier, we're going to get knocked down 9 times before someone says yes to give us an order. So you have to just know it's coming and be ready for it and accept it as a part of what we're into as entrepreneurs. Yeah, there will be some disappointments. There'll be some things when you make a misstatement. I make misstatements sometimes. Everything's not perfect. I'm not perfect, and therefore we make mistakes. And sometimes we knock ourselves down. You got to keep getting up. You got to know that if I've got a good plan and I'm determined and I'm trying to be the best person I can be, things will work out. In entrepreneurship, winning the race is not coming in first. Winning this entrepreneur race is not making $1 billion. Winning this entrepreneur race is not ending up with a beach house and a great boat and a Mercedes Benz. Winning this entrepreneur race is all about staying in the race. Staying in the race. The folks that run hot and run hard and try to just burn the candles at all ends, they flame out and they drift away. And therefore, a lot of the investments they made and the images that they created and the legacy they were building goes away in the wind. Just like smoke and mirrors. But if you stay in that race and you're steady and you're building one step at a time with a good group of customers and you're making changes, but you're making changes that make sense, then I want to tell you, you are a winner as an entrepreneur. So remember, that is so important. You have to stay in it long enough to learn the fine points to be profitable sometimes. And your legacy, is it going to be one as a taker or a giver? I want people that are members of the Academy of Associates and Entrepreneurs to be givers, that have an interest in saying the world is bigger than I am and it's not all about me. I'm in this to help other people, to help my employees, to help my community, or take this little business I've got and make it one of integrity that has a great reputation and stay in power. That's what being a giver can do for you. Number 30, When you're being the best person you can be, you'll have a better business. If you're helping others, you'll have a better business. And I want to say it's important that you let your little candle light shine. It may seem like just a flicker at this point in time, but these little candle lights give off a lot of light in the pitch black night. Just think about just one candle when it's really dark outside. It's the difference in the world, right? You can be a difference in a lot of people's world just by being proud of what you're doing and make sure you're doing it right. Number 31. I want you to own that magic marketing moment we talked about last week. It is so important that you grab that for your marketing plan to work. After you do everything else right and you finally sell that deal, it's time for you to follow up with a customer, confirm that you want them to be 100% satisfied, and then the magic marketing moment comes when you're able to get information from them about their planned next purchases, when they might want another appointment, what the next thing they planned on doing that you might be able to tie it into your business. Listen to what they say about what their neighbors and family and other people are interested in so you can do your forecasting. The magic marketing moment is a great, great thing for you to own and to understand in your marketing plan. And lastly tonight, we'll have 8 more next week, and that'll be the end of this. But tonight, what I'm going to talk about, as we've already done, how important videos are for you to your web pages. Why? Number 1, because it's going to bring you business you won't get without them. Number 2, they're inexpensive to make, as we're showing you. Number 3, Google says if you don't have a video on the web page, everybody that does will get in front of you. So when people are searching, it's all about the more videos you have, the more folks that are going to be able to find you. Saying that again, the more videos you have, the more people will be able to find you quicker and do business with you. 27 times rule we've already discussed. I don't think we need to spend a lot of time on it tonight, but I'm going to give it just a moment here because we've covered it a little bit last week. If you've got a good mix of low-cost ad, like these $5 and $10 ads, if you're doing that all the time and it's always out in front of your people, and that might be web page changes and bringing a lot of people to your website, when you've got a lot of people coming on a regular basis, you're giving them reasons to come back. That's the fresh bait. Then you can throw out these expensive ads or expensive promotions and people will see them and be more effective without you having to spend a lot of big bucks on those. Because if they keep coming back to the table, they will see these special ads that you're running. If you go to a Greasy Spoon or a regular restaurant every day for lunch, and you're eating just the same old, and you're very happy with that regular menu, it fills you up and tastes good. So if that restaurant wants to start introducing new things, if they got a regular clientele coming, they don't have to spend a lot of money advertising it, do they? They just show you some pictures to give you a little bit of encouragement, and therefore they can start off new menu items. In your business, if you're introducing new products like new profit centers, if you've got a regular campaign going on with low-cost advertising, you can introduce these new items without having to bust the bank and spend a lot of money. Big savings for the 27 times rule. But there's one thing that blows the 27 times rule out of the water. I mean, just away. And that is oh boy, I've done that again. So sorry. Let me see if I can get it back. Okay. What blows away the 27 times rule? The raving fan customer, because one satisfied customer, Christina, one of your happy customers that goes out into the world and says, I'm so pleased with this product I bought from Christina. It's really good and a very good price. That customer is more effective about creating a new business for you than all the ads you can run. So we need to spend time to teach our customers to start coming back. Beverly, I want every new customer that comes in your store to leave knowing your hospitality, to have a business card or a brochure or a reason to come back. That's our challenge, Chuck. People come to your shop, give them something, give them a reason to come back, because we want them to come back and we want them to go tell other people they should be coming back as well. This isn't going to happen by itself. We have to do it as entrepreneurs. We have to make that happen, no doubt about it. Planting raving fan customer seeds. How do we do that? I'm going to do all I can to see that you're 100% satisfied. We have to say it. And then we say, you will be so pleased that you'll want to tell your family and friends and neighbors to come and do business with us too. That's step 1 and 2 to create raving fan customers, but you have to do it. It won't happen by itself. Plant those raving fan customer seeds. All right, now let's kind of get serious about moving how to find customers, how to help customers find you. The fresh bait that we're sending out. What subtle messages are you going to use to really help customers find you? The 8 training example emails that I sent to you this week, and I hope that you're opening these emails. If I send so many, you may have to look in your spam file. They may be going there. But I'm not sending them to you just because I'm sitting around and don't have anything to do, because I'm working early and late hours to get this information to you, and I'm happy to do it because I know it'll help you. If you don't spend time studying them now, at least put them away where that when you do have time, you can go back and refer to them, make them a part of your business journal. What can help you now? Use DBAs, doing business as. In the examples I'm sending you, I'm showing you how I use DBAs, like my carverequipment.com, instead of using my corporate name, Fast Forward Services. I want you to use DBAs that will be interesting to your customers. Add a lot of photos when you're sending out emails. Use personalized text. Just don't start out talking business. Start out with a greeting, a good morning or a happy Wednesday or a thanks for your note. I really appreciate your continued business. Be personal in that email. Somewhere in every email or every quote that you send out, put a little color and humor into it. I refer to my equipment. Hey, man, I've got a lot of equipment here. Some of them are orphans that are looking for a new home. I use that term often just to create a customer saying, well, that's a different thing to say. I kind of like that. Maybe I can give a piece of equipment a new home. There's different things that will apply to your business. See if you can figure out a way to make it work. The look and the hook. The look is these great videos we're talking about. And I've sent you several samples of different types of videos. And tonight we're going to keep sharing as we go along in our program what y'all are doing yourselves to help you move product. Your call to action. Encourage people to call you now. Like Chuck said, and by the way, if you're interested in this, and then he said his phone number, give me a call. I'm here. I'd love to talk to you. That's as good an invitation for someone to come and let's do business as I have ever heard in my 63 years in business. Invite someone to give you a call. I'm looking forward to talking to you. You know what? When you go to a web page, you usually all you're seeing is stuff where people want you to punch a button and give them your credit card number, right? That's why entrepreneurship needs to be personable, so you start creating relationships. That is the key, creating relationships. Plant those raving fan customer seeds. Say the magic words. And then add common denominators. Let people know that you're in the Legion or a Coast Guard veteran or a Marine Corps veteran or an Army wife or a Marine wife. I'm a Baptist or a Presbyterian or a Methodist, a Catholic. You know, I'm Hispanic or Mexican or history's all in Scotland or America. In other words, there are common denominators out here. These United States and this world is full of people that are walking the same paths that you're walking. And if they can see those common denominators, they will feel so much better about talking to you and maybe sending some money to you. And when you have common denominators with folks over the internet especially, they will be a whole lot less likely to beat you down and try to make you discount all your profit away. It is such an important thing to do. So I've sent you examples of different videos that I've done that helps me sell products. Know that, just like we talked about earlier, in your videos, find a way to, let's put the text and the voiceovers and the insert different things. So important for you. It's not important that your images are perfect. It is important that you're coming on as being truthful and appreciating the customer and giving them this clear message that you're not pretending to be a know-it-all, but you want to hear what they have to say. When you say you are important to me and I want to hear what you have to say, man, that's like just putting out bait. because folks don't hear that from people. And when you do it, it's going to be so refreshing. They're going to pick up the phone and call you or send you an email. It works for me, and I think it'll work for you. Our marketing plan, helping customers find you, is different than us trying to go out into the world and bring everybody to us. We got to go over here. We got to go to Aurora. We got to go to New Bern. We got to go up to Raleigh or over to Mount Holly, where Stephanie is, or all the way down to Myrtle Beach. I got to go down there and meet some people. Well, if you spend all this time riding all over the country, number one, you don't spend a lot of time. Number two, you don't spend a lot of money on gas and wear and tear on your car. What's a better plan? A better plan is to use all the tools we can that bring people to us, to help them find us. Looks like a magnet. I want your marketing plan to be a magnet that helps people come and find you. Before we started the program today, about an hour before we started, I had a fella in California to give me a call and want to buy a hay baler and a rake and a mowing machine 3,500 miles away. Why? He says, Steve, I'm sitting here watching your videos, and I really like the way you presented them. Now, you see why it's easy for me to really promote these? Because this gentleman, who's older than I am, and I'm 75, was sitting at his table at his desk in California. His granddaughter was managing the computer to show him these videos, and he said, I want to call that fella, and he did, and I really believe that he will buy some products from me. I know the rest of the story is I'll probably have to communicate with him at least 9 to 12 times with email or telephone calls or exchanging quotes. It's not just going to be a given, because people are going to make sure you're real before they send money to you. But you can create a website or a marketing campaign that helps people find you, just like that fella called me today. Today it was California. Yesterday it was Maine. Earlier this morning it was Massachusetts. And that isn't saying anything about the local business. Late this afternoon I got an order out of Oxford, North Carolina. So this is the hottest time of year for my business, and we have slow times and hot times. But the example I'm trying to say is I sit right here at this desk in Dunn, North Carolina, and talk with people all over the United States every day and have a great customer dealer relationship with them. I want that for you. I want you to be so comfortable in your business that you can create those relationships as well. Where does it start? We have to target customers. We pick the profit centers and the way we do our advertising so certain customers will feel good about that. That's why the fellow from California called us, because we had done our videos and used to write SEO terms so that his granddaughter, when he was saying things he was looking for, his granddaughter was typing in search words, right? That's where SEO comes in. Those search words connected with our web pages, our landing pages, and made it work because I was targeting customers. So let's talk about the customers that you want to find. First of all, what is the most effective way that you can help them find you? And what is the number one way that's the least costly way that you can help them find you? Now, we're boiling it right down to the facts, so pay attention and try to make this work for yourself. It's your mobile page. Just like Tom had worked on his mobile page, I want you to work on your mobile page. Just think to yourself, someone's on the phone putting in search terms for a business like mine. How does that mobile page at your place work? How does the mobile page for the business center look, Katie? Does it look really good? How does it look? Is it strong? Is it bold? Is it a good, clear message that encourages someone to call you now, or to send you a quote, or to send you an email? That's what I want on that telephone screen. Clear messages. I do that with all three of my enterprises. That was my equipment company. This is where I'm selling books at Amazon. And so many different ways to do it. Now what's the most number two way? The second most effective thing that you should be concerned about in helping customers find you. And it's also very low cost. It's kind of the old-fashioned way. Yeah. The number two way is your raving fan customers. That's the easiest way for you to promote your business and to make good investments is creating raving fan customers by planting those seeds. And once you get those customers on board and you have them in your database that I was mentioning to Beverly, you have to feed this database and keep adding customer names and email addresses there all the time. When you have those raving fan customers, you're able to send them continuous promotions if you have a database to start working them good with. So keep fresh bait in the water if you're catching fish. Keep fresh promotions and continuous promotions out there for your customers. That's the number 2 least expensive way to bring customers in. Now, there's kind of a new fashion way now. A new fashion way, low cost, but an effective way to help customers find you. And that's what I like to say is to have a 5-star internet rating on the next day once you start this plan. So what I'm saying to you, Lena, and Tanita, glad to have you on board, and Nicole, you may not have a website or you may have one, but tomorrow you could have a brand new website that didn't cost you anything that customers can start bragging on you and finding you simply when they type in the right SEO terms, and that is Google My Business. If you don't have a Google My Business account, and I think that name may have changed from what folks were saying after your last seminar, if you don't have a Google My Business account, we got to get one. And Katie, can you bring me up to date on that?
Yes. So what happened was the app used to be an independent app called the Google My Business app that you would download, and now Google has integrated that app into the Maps feature. So if you already have a Google My Business profile, no worries. But if you haven't made one yet, you go into Google Maps, and you'll see. I just helped someone start one the other day. It'll say register your business. So it's now in Google Maps. They combined the app.
Can you give us maybe put together a little email with a step-by-step learning curve,
Sure.
where to go to get started on that? I'd really appreciate it.
Not a problem.
We can share that with everybody in the future
Sure.
as well. Thank you so much. But it is so important. It is so effective that you can get. It's almost like having your private website free, and I want to encourage you to do it. So many of our entrepreneurs and associates just had great success just with using Google My Business to bring business to them. Learning to do videos is one thing, and that's going to be important. But taking it to the next level, your YouTube channel can become your own YouTube website. And a lot of people right now, especially younger adults, are just finding their entertainment and their reading and their news at YouTube. So therefore, it's important that we all start learning how to use our YouTube channel more effectively. I've just been using it as a place to store my videos and letting folks know about it without really promoting it. But I'm going to be asking my associates here with Stephanie and Maddie to start doing some research on how we can better utilize our marketing efforts through the YouTube organization with our YouTube channel. I want y'all to do that as well too. Hardly any cost at all, unless you decide to pour some money into it, but you can get a big bang for low bucks with YouTube. So stop thinking about it and let's start creating. As you know, I'm pushing it just as hard as I know how to do it for all of you. All right, we moved away from the main 4 things, and they were the top 4 things you can start doing immediately. That's the main 4 things. They will be in your quiz, these last 4 things. So draw a circle on your handout and try to remember those. So what are some other things that are so important? Offer as many profit centers as you can to help customers find you. Why? Because if you've got different things to sell, you'll be able to sell to different groups of people. And the more different groups of people that are buying from you, the more sustainable your business will be, and the more profits you'll be able to make, therefore grow your business and enjoy the benefits of entrepreneurship. Profit centers are important, but right along with it, what you name those profit centers, the DBAs, are just as important as how many profit centers you have, because you may be selling cars, which would be nice to have, but it's more important that you know now that in marketing your cars, you would have a web page for convertibles. You'd have a web page for Chevrolets. you'd have a web page for SUVs. The different DBAs need to match up to the search terms that people put in when they're looking for your products. That's a big deal, a big deal. So you have to have more and more marketable profit centers. The key word here is marketable. When we add a profit center, you put it on that menu that I was asking you to do. I want you to be thinking about now, is this a product or a service that I can market by itself, because I want different customers to be able to come to me if that's all they're shopping for. Number 6, list down and target the customer groups and the niche markets. Yeah, it's going to take some thinking on a piece of paper. Got to list them down and actually think about it, but it's so important, because if you're going to spend your money effectively, we can't be all things to all people, so we must be everything to some target groups of customers that will become your niche markets. You with me so far? All right. Feed your database as often as you can with new addresses. Always be working towards new addresses. Now, I purposely, to you guys, I'm very cautionary about this. Notice that I sent y'all some emails where I listed everybody's email address on there. Yeah, you know, I could have sent it as a blind copy or something like that, so you wouldn't see everybody's emails. And you have to be careful about that when you're doing business out with your regular customers, because your competitors might get a hold of that and start trying to steal your customers from you. That is a real serious thing to do. So that's why I'm qualifying it right now on this webinar. I am giving you those other email addresses of our friends and associates, people that are attending these webinars. And by golly, I want you to copy every one of those addresses and enter them into your database. Because we are here and we want to watch your business grow. We want to share ideas, and it will help you get your database started. And I'm going to tell you that there may be some people that don't want you to keep sending them emails, just like you may be tired of what I'm sending to you. All you got to do is say, Steve, delete my name. It's not a big deal to send out what some people will say spam or trash or such as that, because a lot of people want to see, I want to see what you're up to. I want to see your examples of your email. So don't be afraid to make that list of emails as long as you can. And when your Boy Scout troop or your church group or your classmates are having a reunion, when someone sends you an email and it's got all those other email addresses where there's common denominators, you take an advantage right them, just like you're a predator. You reach up there and you copy and you paste those email addresses right over into your database. That's the way you start building a large database of people you have common denominators with. It's a good reason to join the Chamber of Commerce, at least the first year, because once you join the Chamber of Commerce, you're going to get a directory of email addresses of the local businesses and folks that are doing business in your area. You take that directory, you copy every one of those email addresses, and you put them into your database. Because an email address doesn't just represent one entity. A lot of your sales, a lot of my sales, don't come from the person I sent the email to. It comes from the people that they referred it to, other folks that they knew might be interested in something that I'm selling. I mean, the world now is full of networking. Facebook's a great example of that. But just generally in email, if I send you something and you know that your brother or sister or next door neighbor has an interest in this or is shopping for it, there is a really good chance that you'll just forward it on to them. I see that happen every day in my business. So feed your database, get as many email addresses in it as you possibly can, and let's start putting the word out there with continuous promotions. SEO, search engine optimization, is so important that we need to have separate webinars on it. I can talk a little bit about it tonight, but I want to encourage Katie that we need to have separate a whole series of SEO strategies, different things that you can do, because it's complicated. It's not easy to understand, but it is so important for your effectiveness to have a website that's actually making money for you. Because you got those landing pages that we talked about, the pages that you really work hard to make people want to buy something from you. The way you get people to those landing pages, instead of the rest of the world being in front of you, is through your SEO strategies. Now, you've got a special handout that's coming to you for tonight's presentation that's just named that, where I've written in a lot of contracts. I did a lot of research on it to give you a good understanding of how this works and how important it is. And also I got some of my opinions in there because everybody don't agree with how all this works. But my 35 years on the internet says some things work that nobody else mentions. Maybe they just haven't tried it yet or they don't stay with it. But strategies are important, and we're really going to talk about them in just a little bit. So see that handout. Please read it and study it. Please read this one and study it. I don't say that about all of them, but this one I do. This is just
the handouts just got emailed to everybody that's in attendance. Chuck, yours is on its way. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. The SEO handout is just as important as the 40 drill skills. If your business is going to be marketing and you're going to be spending time and energy, and one of the risks that you have, one of the risks we all have is we invest time and energy in a website or in videos, and then we can't figure out how to help people find them. Well, SEO strategies help people find them, and I've covered them good in the handout, and we'll talk about them some more. So what is SEO? In your words, what are SEO? I don't tell you just in plain talk what I think it is. I think it's a skill set and an art form. I'll be talking with Stephanie about this. How can we help ourselves with SEO, and how can we help our clients do a better job with their SEO? Because it's a skill set and it's an art form. Because what it's all about is the content on a web page, the pictures and the titles and all the words that we use in the grammar, they are what the SEOs are searching for. You're at home on your computer and you type in a search term. Google and other search engines try to find that search term on web pages. So that's why it's important that we have the right search terms included in the content on every one of our web pages, because that's how the search engines will find you. You got more good SEO search terms, then your page is going to be found before all those million other websites out there that's trying to sell the same things that you are. The single factor that determines whether or not your page is going to be at the top of the list or the bottom of the list, as I talked about last week, I showed you 18 different search terms where carverequipment.com or Steve Carver comes up in the very top of the list in on Google searches, in the non-paid for click ads. How did I do that? I did it through working hard with my webmaster, and when I was designing pages or understanding that I needed to add different SEO terms, it's sometimes just to throw in a large group of words just to make sure the SEO can find it. And I'll share with you that tip and secret in just a little bit. So there's 9 factors for laymen like me, like you, 9 factors I want you to understand that will improve your SEO positioning. One is what you name the page. The actual name of the page, if it has the search term in the name of the page, it's going to fly to the top of the list. Is your page mobile friendly? Because so many people are shopping with their telephone, you might have a really good page for computers, but is it mobile friendly? Now this is going to require some special webmaster skills. So if you've got a web page that is not coming up well on your telephone, it's not mobile friendly. The inclusion of videos is going to be important, but now we need to take it to the next step. And I was just kind of thinking about this past week as I was working with the videos for Chuck. Not only can you have a video, but it's important that we name the video the appropriate names that jive with SEO terms that people might have an interest in finding. So we might take Chuck's video and we might name it Chuck's Woodworking Shop, or we might name it Custom Made Wind Chimes, or we might name it Down East North Carolina Woodcrafts. We might use that same video and rename it at our YouTube channel 50 darn times. Same video, but give it 50 different names. Now, why would I do that? Because that's going to give me a chance to have 50 more times the business generated by that video, because the search engines are searching by title. See, the search engines don't hear the words that Chuck is saying. They don't hear those words. They read the titles and the descriptions to help people go to those videos. So this is kind of a way that I think that I, with a little bit of experience, I'm making a lot of mistakes through the years, I think this is going to be a very expensive way to maximize, without any cost, because you can rename a video as many times as you want to. You got your own YouTube channel. You can load that sucker up with a great video and name it a lot of different names to help people find it fast. And by doing that, if you've got the right text included in those videos that encourages people to go ahead and buy from you, and the right messages like Chuck had in his that encourages people to pick up the phone and call you now, by golly, you got a winning combination going on. This isn't just talking junk. This is talking sales, and I think it's going to work, and I'm going to be trying it myself and want to encourage you to give it a try too. The keywords or the search terms are so important, just like I said earlier. We need to fill our pages with the right context with keywords. I'm going to show you how to do that later. Now, around your web pages, use as many links as you can. In other words, when someone's on a web page and you want to send them, you want to say, and by the way you do that is giving them links on that web page so that they'll look at what you've got on this page and be encouraged to link and go to another one of your web pages. Why is that important? Because if they're not moving on from your web page to another one of your web page, you know where they're moving on to? A competitor. That's why it's important for you to have someone to land on one of your landing pages. You want them to stay there like flies on flypaper. You want them to stay in your website because that will keep them from shopping on your competitors. And on these web pages, you're going to have hospitality and customer service and videos. It's going to be just like they've sat down and eaten some banana pudding. They're going to want to stay there and keep nibbling on what you have to offer. That's called making SEO work for you and doing it the guerrilla marketing style way. Another thing is important is loading speed. Tom told me a few days ago that he had checked out one of my websites and said he was pretty impressed because it loaded up pretty good. Well, I cannot take any credit for that, but I can give all that credit to my webmaster. It is important for every page at your website to load up pretty quickly. That means that when someone clicks on that page name, that it comes up on the screen in a hurry instead of dragging and dragging and dragging. Well, a lot of that drag sometimes has to do with the people that are looking at it have very slow internet service. That's where internet speed comes into play. So we have to know that maybe you're in a big city that has really fast speed, and whatever that web page is, it's going to come up in a hurry. But maybe somebody down at Oriental or over at Hoboken, they don't have really good internet service, and it takes them forever for a page to come up. That's why it's important that your webmaster knows he needs to check the speed on pages and improve those that are molasses slow, because some people will not wait for them. They just have to move on because they just can't sit there and wait for every page to come up. Another SEO feature, a way to get more people to find you, is what we call pay for click. That's where you pay a company money to improve your chances that someone will come to your page before someone else by making a certain bid on a certain SEO term, a search term. I do some of this, especially when I'm creating new products. For someone like Beverly that's getting a brand new business started up in a certain area, I probably would not recommend Beverly that she do this on one of the national big pay-for-click companies like Google Ads or Bing or such as that. But I would recommend that you might use some pay-per-click, and on Facebook we call it boosting, because you can target those ads. Remember, you can't be all things to all people, but we want everyone within a 60-mile radius, at least a 60-mile radius of Aurora that's on Facebook to know that Beverly's having a grand opening. And you can probably put out for less than $60 or $70 a lot of good news to people in your particular region for grand opening events such as that through pay-per-click. Pay-per-click is called a lot of different things in a lot of places. On Facebook, it's called boosting, okay? Just something to mention. You got to be careful with this, though, especially with the large companies like Bing Ads and Google, because you're not giving your credit card information, and if you don't know how to manage your budget, they will eat a credit card up in a hurry. So it don't take but one or two mistakes for you to spend a lot more money than you planned on it. So go very carefully and very softly when you're first getting started. I don't want you to have any bad surprises. You can manage it to spend almost nothing, or if you make some mistakes, they may take you for several $1,000s a day. Yeah. Right now, this is my busy season. I'm after all the business I can get while the market's hot. You know, you don't want to spend a good money on infertile ground, but right now is a good time. People are in the market, just like Beverly's opening at the perfect time, Memorial Day weekend, when tourists are starting to move around. So think about what you're doing. Sometimes you have to make an investment to get a return. Also, that return, you may not see it in the first 2 weeks or first few months. Sometimes you might spend $1,000 this month and not really see the results of it start paying you back for 6 or 8 months. So those return on investments will come. Being on Google with the right search engines will help you. I'm giving you an example here in this slide that even though our company is small and little, you know, I'm not a big national company, but we can do a great job with search engines. As showing you right here that Carver Equipment Incorporated is first on the list when you type that in. We're very happy with that. Now, factor number 8 is using social media, not just the regular ones like Facebook and Pinterest and those, but using eBay. I call eBay a social media, using eBay and Craigslist to help promote your websites and your products. Doing press releases and using other platforms can help people find you. It's all about getting the news out there. Now, I don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but I have to say this. There are so many social media platforms coming up that it's really difficult. And my favorite to preach and to push is Facebook, because I know it works for me, and I've seen it work for so many of you guys, my clients. But here's the word. If you're trying to be everything to everybody on all the different social medias, you're going to spend a lot of time doing a little bit of work that brings in very little bit of return. My suggestion to you is to master the benefits of whatever one you're working on before you move on and try to spread yourself so thin. Develop your own website and your own Google My Business and your own YouTube channel, and then focus on Facebook and do all you can there with a lot of different business pages or DBA pages before you move on to other places. I think you're going to get your best return on investment there and not water yourself down to where you're not being meaningful for everyone. Factor number 9, don't pretend to be a professional webmaster if you're not. Don't keep wasting time and procrastinating trying to figure this out or saying to yourself, hey, I'm doing this, I'm tinkering with that, I'm going to make this happen. Because while you're waiting, business is going by. Not only are you losing the business today, but you're losing the business today that might create more business down the road. So there are times to go to professionals and get them to help you move forward. Take those extra steps. A lot of entrepreneurs are getting into the business. We've got someone great getting ready to do it right now, Tom Davis, right here with us tonight. He wants your website business. And if he can satisfy you that he can deliver what you need for him, consider ask him for a quote. And if it fits, go for it. Take baby steps to start with, but start. Don't just keep saying, hey, I don't get my cousin to learn how to build websites and I won't have to pay her anything. Well, let me tell you, if you're paying nothing for something, you're probably getting nothing worth. Yeah, something good to have is going to cost you some money. And in this area, when it comes to SEO, there are some fine tips to make. So you'd want to ask your potential webmaster, do you feel that you're proficient with SEO skills? Do you know how to maximize these? Have you listened to what Steve said? Can you tell me that we will be ranked high on the web count? My goal that I say to new folks that are just getting started with a website and a new webmaster, and Tom, you can certainly think about this and talk to folks when you're doing it, is I like to say, I'm not going to be satisfied unless I'm at least on the first page in the top 10 rankings when they come up on Google. That's the type of SEO proficiency and expertise that I expect a webmaster to have. Now, I know that they don't have to do a lot of work, and that a lot of work means more hours, and I don't pay more because it costs to get there. It don't happen by itself. And the people that know how to do it best and the fastest, which means a lower bill, usually are going to cost you a little bit more to get started with. So hire a professional webmaster, whether they're new into business or not. You get quotes from them, but don't try to do it yourself or with someone that just don't know what they're doing, or it takes them so long, or they're working by trial and error. That time that they're spending is costing you money. Just that simple. If it's not working, if it's not making you money, you don't need to be doing it. Choose the right keywords. So here we're going to talk about search terms. It's important that we choose the right keywords. And maybe, hey, I don't have that much imagination, but I know that whatever the keyword is, there's places right on Google you can go. All you got to do is type in keywords and search terms, just like I've done here. And whatever keyword that you're looking for, you can type in and hit a click, and free, it'll give you a world of thousands of keywords that you might consider using in your content and text to improve your SEO. Now, here's an example where I typed in, I think, shoes, I believe is what I typed in. I'm going to start selling shoes. And the page came up and gave me all these different kinds of shoes that I might consider. Look here. If you type in shoes, it tells us that that on one day, the average day for people that are searching for Brooks shoes is 280,000 people, or 280,000 searches. 100,000 folks on this particular day was looking for women's running shoes. So if you just had the word shoes up there and you're trying to be everything to everybody, then you're going to miss these customers that are looking for specific type of shoes. So if you are selling shoes and you're still sell running shoes, I want you to have a page that is named Best Running Shoes. Now, look right here, though. If I can see right here that if I can get Adidas running shoes, I don't have more people shopping for me. And if I can get Hoka shoes, I don't have a lot more people still there. Because by looking at these search terms, you can tell which brands will bring you the most business right away. And how do you help customers find you? By selling the best brands. It makes a world of difference because you see why? They have already created a reputation that's going to bring customers to your door by thinking about that. Now, our good friend down in Garland, Jimmy Packer, had to decide what type of barber and beauty products he was going to sell in his shop. And I encourage Jimmy to search around for the most effective, the people that have the most customers, look at their traffic, look at these numbers that people are shopping for, and he chose the right one, was able to get a dealership with them. And I know that because he's with a certain firm, I think it's called Level 3, because he's with Level 3, he'll probably do 5 times more business than if he had started out with some other firm that doesn't have an established reputation. That's why name branding and picking the right products can be so important for you. Now, notice right here on one of my ads, this is the bottom of a web page at my website. This is kind of old. I've improved this. But here you'll see a large group of terms, different types of products, different kinds of places, different towns, different products, just kind of jumbled together in one piece of text. Nobody reads that. It doesn't hurt a thing for it to be there. It could be twice that big. Why have I got it in there? Because I want the search engines to find that page and bring them people to my home page. This is my home page. But I want folks that are searching for a certain thing to come to my home page at this situation. Notice up here in this area, I've listed down a bunch of towns. Lellington and Benson, Eastover, Parkton. On this particular page, a lot of different towns. Fayetteville, Fort Bragg. On this page, I want people that's kind of in eastern North Carolina. And if they're shopping in eastern North Carolina, my page will come up before everybody else's because the search engine will direct customers to people in their area. You know, on your telephone, when you type in a search engine, right up in that slot on Siri or Safari, it comes up and it says automobile dealers in Pamlico County. See, it automatically directs people to you in the local area. So if you've got these names on your web pages that you are in certain towns, then local customers will see your ads first. So that's why, Beverly, on your web pages, you want to have Aurora written on it all over the place, in Pamlico County and Beaufort County, and all the towns that are in your area, so that people that are shopping, even maybe not typing in the exact search term, but because they are in your area, your pages will come up ahead of everybody else. That's why it's important to put the location and as many as you want to. Here's a kind of a close-up of that. Now, I've expanded this effort to include a lot of towns, like in California, a lot of towns in Arizona, all over the United States, because I have certain hot spots of people that buy our equipment, depending on the region they're in, because our equipment is suited for different regions. So it don't have, if you're selling nationwide, you might use a lot of towns all over the country, depending on where you'll have a good representation. Here's another example of loading up a web page just with the right search terms, using the right things. Here I was talking about planners, so I said planners for Roanoke, Virginia, planners for Chesapeake, Virginia, planners for or canopy kits for Columbus, Ohio, all different things that people might type in. Canopy kits for Greenville, South Carolina, for Albany, Georgia. And I get calls because that word Greenville is there. I get calls from people in the Greenville, South Carolina area that other people do not get. So this is guerrilla marketing in your SEO. Use it, make it work for you. Your landing pages have to, by golly, invite people to do business. On your landing pages, it's designed to make money. So give people the opportunity to hit a button and order something right now. Let them know that their price is reduced from a regular retail price, like I've shown here. You don't want to say take it or leave it, and one way to do it is to give them a lot of options how they can price their product. Now, this particular sickle bar mower, which I sold 2 of today, and these prices are up about $1,000 from last year. I need to upgrade this page. But this particular page is telling that customer that the retail price is $6,100, but he can purchase with a credit card for a certain amount of money, or he can pay cash or check for a lower amount of money. So I am actually negotiating with them whether they realize it or not, because it does not say take it or leave it. It's all about take it, and I'm trying to give you prices here that fit your budget or the way that you want to pay. I'm going to make the same amount of money, because each one of those prices represent these people are charging me more services money, like with MasterCard and Visa. You know, that's about a 3.5% upcharge for me. Some credit cards are as much as 5.5%, by the way we watch it out. Just a lot of ways that you can present your prices that say, and let's negotiate. Here's different ways that you can buy it. People love it. Sometimes they'll start out the conversation, Steve, I don't quite understand this pricing scheme. I want you to talk to me about it. Is that a negative? No, because they wouldn't have called me if I'd have just had one price there that they did understand. They would have went on shopping searching for a better price. But because they can look here and talk and look with me, and then we can discuss the different do's and don'ts here, we're able to have a negotiation through email and over the internet, and it keeps them stuck on your web pages thinking about what's going to suit me best. You see my logic here? That is guerrilla SEO marketing. The use of words are important. I want you to look at this as an example, and I've asked all of you to give me a menu of the different products and items that you're going to sell. Now over here I'm talking about different types of drum mowers, right? And I'm talking about the different brands of drum mowers on this particular thing. Down here I'm talking about hay balers, different types of hay balers and hay rakes. Notice that over and over I use the word drum mower. Notice that over and over I use the word twine baler and net baler. Notice that over and over I mentioned hydraulic lift. Why? I could have just put that in there one time and then put columns down that listed all the drum mowers without ever mentioning that word but one time. That would have been the easy way typing-wise, right? Sure. It might have cleaned up the page a little bit. Sure. But because I've got drum mowers written on there about 20 times and twine baler written on there about 15 times, people that are searching for drum mower or twine baler are more likely to end up on my web page than all the others on the whole World Wide Web, because we use those words over and over and over, and the more times words are used on the page, the more likely the search engines can link it up with the search term. So as you're doing your menus, take this to heart. Remember that. Also, I want you to mention here that we talked about in pricing strategies on an earlier webinar on a Wednesday night. I want you to notice here how I'm using the $99.99 market pricing theories, because I'll tell you that it's just as easy to get a deal at $5,099 as it is $5,962 or $5,986. You're better off to move it up to $599, because the logic there says to most shoppers, hey, I can get this under $6,000. It must be really good because it's more expensive than $59.86. So maybe there's more value to it, and I can still buy it under $6,000, so I don't focus on that tool. That is the strategies of pricing. You always want to think about that as you're doing your menu. If you are trying to develop your menu, as I want each and every one of you to do, go ahead and do a draft copy of it. It's not right or wrong. It's just something that we start with. Do a draft copy, send me a copy of it, send it to Katie, and we can talk about this and help you improve your SEO strategy. Next, location, location, location is so important with helping customers find you. Your store location, just like Beverly's in the best store location in Aurora, because she is right across the street from 3 corners of the main tourist draws there. So I congratulate you for finding that spot. That's a great example of location. Sign placements now. Are you getting your signs in such a place and position that people are going to find you? Are you using guerrilla marketing and getting those signs out there? Because a lot of communities have laws that prevent you from putting up this sign or that sign, but most of them don't have any laws that keep you from having portable signs around. So for special events, you might want to have some special signs that you're putting out at certain intersections or out by the sidewalk. Where you place your print ads is important. If you're not advertising a magazine or a newspaper, if you're not getting it in the right place, you're better off not spending the money at all. Better off not to spend the money at all. How you do your website design, the location that you do that in. Some webmasters that have been highly trained will tell you the best place, the most important place on the web page is the top right-hand corner. Next important place is the top left-hand corner. I don't know that all that's true, but I do follow the lead. I do follow the professionals, and those items that I want seen first and most often, I'll put them in the right places. Remember, on every web page there is 3 parts to it. The top of it is your top header. The bottom of it is your bottom header. On every one of your web pages, you've got the top and the bottom headers, and everything you put there is be seen by anyone coming to your site, no matter which landing page that they're at. So those are the places you'll want to put the information for your regular, always going on type marketing tools. So that's where you do the 27 times rule is in those headers, because if those customers are seeing that, it's going to be very, very important. Location is important about where you stand in a room when you're doing sales calls or you're out marketing or beating on doors. Where you sit at the table, it's important that you're in the right place to be seen and to be seen. So if you're just getting started in the community, not many people know you, then go to the ball games, meet people, be friendly, join organizations, see and be seen to help get your business started. In your handouts, I put together a few weeks ago what I'm going to call a 5-star marketing sales plan, or a sales plan. I'm going to tell you basically how to do the plan, and then I'm basically going to tell you how to implement it to get to work on it, okay? Get a drink of water. Take a look at this. Let it sink in. Now, most of y'all have been with us. This is your fourth presentation. You've heard a lot of these used in different contexts on the Wednesday and Thursday nights. It's all repeat. It's all about connecting the dots. So tonight I'm asking you, just like Tom did, is to start getting serious about putting these tools to work for you. You know what the tools are now. Hopefully y'all are able to slip them into your tool belt. But now it's time to get them out of that tool belt and start working with them. And that's what this 5-star plan that I put together for you is. If you do nothing else, at least take this serious and see how you can make it apply to your business. Number 1, identify the profit centers and other related sales items that can be used for upsells. Write them down. Create a menu. Put a dollar value on them. An estimate of what you hope they bring, because they're going to be important when you're planning your business plan. Let's identify the date that you can start a sales season. Beverly identified her date as Memorial Day being the most important date for her to open her business. What is the most important date for you to be officially in business? And once you establish that date, then let's plan the 60 days in front of it, what you can be doing step by step to help you get started. Yep, we'll take some time, write it down, be serious about it. Katie will be glad to help you with it, as I will be. Develop pricing and discount strategies. Those marketing centers you wrote down, let's put some prices on it, how you're going to discount it, but still end up with the profits that you made. Where are the upsell items you're planning to say, and by the way, I've got this and that. Have that strategy in place. Now, see, you got 6 months to work on this, or 60 days at the least. All right, let's create those videos. Let's make sure we're putting look and hook features in them. And I'll volunteer to help you just like we're able to help Chuck. You get it started. If I can't help you at all, Katie's going to help. We're going to ask Beverly to help. We've got Stephanie on board, Maddie on board. We're going to do all we can to help you move forward here in the next few weeks. We're taking it serious. Are you? Now, we got stuff here now. You got your ads together. It's time to get out there and let people see what you got. That's the plan. That's the 5 stars that we need to plan with. Now let's talk about what action we have to do to make that plan go into work. 5-star action plan. Make that website work for you. Mobile friendly, landing pages. Maybe you're not there with your website yet, but you've got 60 days to 6 months to get there. So let's put a calendar on it. You can start on Facebook tomorrow. Nothing's stopping you from doing that. Nothing's stopping you from putting your vision statements, your videos out there, putting out your menu and your prices there. In other words, invite people to start doing business with you. I've just mentioned to you how to start putting an email list together, a database. Let's put some emails together. I've sent you examples and samples how to do that. Give it a try. Send us, use that mailing list that we did. Send us some samples and ask us what we think about it. Yeah, criticism is a good thing when you're trying to get things going and improve. Think about if you can use eBay and Craigslist to help jumpstart your marketing efforts. Now, I want to caution you about Craigslist. Some people believe in it. I've got a lot of cautions. When I tried to use that maybe 15 years ago, I got so many scams and crooks wanting to do this and that related to my Craigslist ads. I just quit messing with it. And then I turned to eBay and found it to be a much better site that I can put a low-cost $4 a month ad at eBay and bring a lot of traffic to my websites. A lot of traffic. I'll show you how to do that later. And as I said earlier, if you haven't moved to creating your own YouTube channel, it's time to do it. Katie can help you with that, as can I, but Ashley, you can go to the YouTube website and they got a really good tutorial. That's how I did it my first time, my first channel to do it. Later on, I found I needed some expertise helping me manage all these videos that I started to do. But figure out a way that you can have your own YouTube channel because it is a free website for you. Very important. Now, wrapping it up, bringing it all to a head. Helping customers find you is about me and you looking at the different profit centers that we have and determining, one, who are the customer groups that have most interest in this particular thing I'm selling. And after we determine the different customer groups and write them down, targets, then we need to decide which media we're going to use to reach out to them, How are we going to implement that media to reach out to them? And are there some guerrilla marketing strategies that we can use? You see, what we're not going to do is throw anybody under the bus. We're going to look at each important targeted group and figure out how to make them work for us. Because the biggest gamble, the biggest risk that we make with our marketing strategy, and listen closely here, is we work really hard to do all this work, but we let some group, some important group of customers just fall through the crack. Just fall through the crack, and we don't pay any attention to them. And that can really hurt the chances of your business, because if you do this for 2 or 3 groups, then you're going to miss out a lot of profit. Let's determine what are the important groups of people that are ready to buy from us now. Folks that we can get to fairly easily, and we cannot afford to ignore them in our market. Can't afford to ignore them. You know, if you ever been around a bricklayer when you're laying brick, it's kind of important, because bricklaying is a hard thing to do. I've tried it a time or two, and I can make the biggest mess, to be sure, trying to lay brick. My stuff falls over, it gets crooked, it's uneven. But an accomplished bricklayer, he's got his line level there to help him keep level. He's got his plumb bob to help keep it vertical. And he knows the right mixture of the mortar and just how much to put on the trowel when he's setting his brick. And if you're around a mason or several masons, you're going to hear a constant sound. You have to stop and listen sometimes. You're going to hear a constant sound as a mason is laying brick. And that sound is, then he'll lay another brick, get it just right, and then you'll hear. What he's doing is taking that trowel and hitting the top of the brick. On every brick. Not 1 or 2 every now and then, but every time they lay a brick, you'll hear. So what are they doing when you hear that sound? Hitting that sound right there is setting, it's called setting, S-E-T-T-I-N-G, setting that brick and making it a part of the whole. Because if he doesn't set that brick, in other words, make sure that the mortar bonds to this new brick along with all the others he's already done, that will be a loose brick and he won't be able to control it and his work will fall apart. But as long as he's keeping level and straight, keeping his standards high, and he sets every brick, he's going to he's going to do well, and it'll stay. Setting that brick is what I'm saying to you. With every customer opportunity you have, you take advantage of it. And you try real hard to make sure that every customer that you have a chance to talk with, whether they're buying from you today or not, I'm not talking about every sale you make, but every time you have a chance to talk to a customer, you set that customer and help them to become a raving fan, and you'll start building your business one customer at a time. Repeating, we build our business one customer at a time by treating each one of them important. Now, in this horse race, one horse here won by about 3 inches. Won the race. Won the race. He won $1 million, and the other horse won a bale of hay. Nobody remembers the loser's horse's name. Everybody remembers the winner. Big deal, right? Well, here's the little deal. In entrepreneurship, if we make one more sale a day, we get one more customer to come in, or maybe just 2 more customers a week, or 3 a month, and we make a sale. That could very easily be the difference in whether you made a profit that month or not, or that week. You don't stay in business by knocking home runs by serving 1,000 people at a time. You stay in business by having one important customer come to you at a time, whether they're spending a nickel or $10,000, as long as they keep coming back. Today they may be spending a nickel, but next week maybe $3,000. One customer at a time is so important. This particular rider of this horse knew how to push that horse just enough to get his nose out front, and he won that race. As entrepreneurs, I want to push you to find out how to get that one more customer come in today. One more customer to see your video and give you a call. Because let me tell you, after 65 years, you have months that you don't make money. You have days and times that you are losing your butt. And you have days and times that you'll wonder how you're going to stay open next week or next month and where you're going to borrow the money to meet payroll. The answer to that, to give you the security that you need, as we talked about last week, is having a marketing and a business plan that lets you know I'm doing things right. So I don't get these onesies and twosies, even though I may not be getting the big deals. And by doing that, you stay in business many, many years. When you see other people come and go so often, it's incredible. Remember, one customer at a time means one customer coming back at a time and maybe bringing something with them. That's talking about the individuals. But now, you have something, Katie?
No.
Okay. It's so important now that you actually determine in your own mind where your targets are. Who are the target customers that you want to go with, that you want to spend your first marketing program to send stuff to? Now, we're focusing on Pamlico County. It's an area where vacationers come and go, so that might be a target group for you. Over in Newbern and Jacksonville, a lot of Marines there, and Havelock, so you may want to focus your profit centers on Marine families. And then there's dream customers. Those are people that we just dream we could have. I'll talk about them later. And maybe the products you're selling are good for everyone shopping on a cell phone. So you'll want to spend your interest on what you're doing in your marketing plan that will really capture cell phone shoppers. Maybe you want to have a nationwide business and not only get North Carolina business, but also focus on bringing customers in from around the country. What do you need to do there? You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to encourage you not to try to be all things to all people, but to have a marketing plan that gets you in touch with the people you think are best suited right now to do business with you. That's the low-hanging and the right fruit. The easiest ones to get to with the least amount of effort and the least money. Now, here's a little footnote. You don't get good at this if you stay in business. And once you master the low-hanging and the right fruit customers, then it's going to be time to go big. Don't let it be said that I'm encouraging you always to look at small potatoes. Because, first of all, I am. Keep these target groups tight. But as soon as you start mastering this, we'll figure out a way how to expand and expand to help your business grow. I know that some of us don't want our business to grow anymore because you can't handle it so much. You don't have but a certain amount of time to do it. But there's others of you that might say, I want to take this to the limit and grow it as much as I can, to hire employees, have multiple stores and such as that. So always have in the back of your mind, what's it going to take to go big? Always have in the back of your mind, I want a business I can sell one day. So to that seller, I need the options to show them how it can be grown. So let's talk about the different customer groups now that I want you to focus on. Let's say that you are searching for folks that's going to shop with you on the telephone for a certain type of business. There are other group of people that do not use computers or cell phones. Did you know that? I talk to people every day that says, Steve, I don't do email. I don't do this. And for me to get back to them with a quote, I literally have to call them on the phone 2 or 3 times to get them to answer, leave messages, where if I could just send them an email, it'd be a lot faster, but that's not what they're into. It don't make a difference whether I'm into it or not. They're not. I am not going to throw those customers away because they don't do email. I'm not going to throw those customers away because they want to pay with a check. Okay? So remember it. Holding on to these onesies and twosies mean holding on to your business. A great group of customers to focus on, especially as a new entrepreneur, are folks that are new to the community. And those of us that have different avenues of recognizing people that are moving in, that are new to the community, then if you're focusing on them, here's the news. They're not loyal to someone else. They don't have another established business they're doing business with. And if you come across with a good welcoming message that's trustworthy, they'll say, hey, I'm new here. Let me help this new entrepreneur get started. We'll get started together. So think in terms, and Pamlico is a good community to think about this. How can we go about identifying folks that are moving in? I don't know if there's a welcome wagon or a group of realtors that could get together or maybe have some special connections. I've had some people through the years tell me, I've got a special connection down at City Hall, and they tell me the people that's getting new water accounts and such as that. So you know, it's not what you know, sometimes it's who you know to determine that. But I know that people that are new to the community are really the best prospects for entrepreneurs getting started. Another group, visitors and vacationers and weekenders. And y'all have a bunch of these. So we would do things with our signage and with our mobile phones and the way we present our websites, having combination signs, flyers, brochures in different areas. How can we get the vacationers and weekenders to find us instead of the other people? Of course, going outside of North Carolina is a whole different way of approaching things. And again, hey, I'm not looking for anyone. That's those dream customers. Your very best potential customers that's going to give you the very best money for the longest period of time are already here and doing business with someone else. They are very happy with what they're doing and don't care whether you're in business or not. That's just a fact. They may never hear of you unless you carry the message to them because they're not shopping. And that's going to bring us to a whole group of folks that I have to kind of remind you that, yeah, it's a new life, but there are a lot of things still play. So what's the best fresh bait for your target group that we're going to look at? Each one of those target groups, this is what I want you to do. When you write down your target group, write down these three words: media, method, and guerrilla marketing, and start making notes on how you can best reach them. Media, you got a lot to choose from. Of course, the World Wide Web, business cell phones, the print media, and social media. Have you thought about how you will use each one of these different medias to help you? And of course, signs is a whole different media in itself. Is signage the right way for you to approach some of these folks? Directional signs, signs at roadways and eateries, different things like that. Long-term marketing message. You know what? You can take $365, even as high as building materials are today. You can take $365 and make a nice sign. Paint, 4x4s, bolted together, lasted 10 or 15 years. Now, let's just say that you're putting up this sign and all you want it to do is to work for you for 1 year. How much is that a day? How much are you paying in your marketing and advertising campaign for that sign? Now, a sign being up there is a marketing tool. That's $1 a day for a year. And if it lasts 10 years, you know what that sign's costing you? 10 cents a day. So sometimes you are really smart and making a good investment to go out and buy a new sign, even if you have to use your credit card to do it, if it's done right and put in the right place. But Steve, I don't know where to put a sign. I don't have any roadside property. Let me tell you, you've got to get out and talk to people, ask folks if you can put a sign up on their property. And the rest of the story, and I've got some good friends, especially down in the Emerald Isle area, that do guerrilla marketing. They'll find an old vacant lot with a lot of old signs on it, places that's kind of nobody's paying attention to, and they just go stick their sign up. They just do it. That's called taking risk, by golly, but we do what we got to do to get the message out there. So just keep that in mind. Make some investments to get a return on investment. Now here's an opportunity, and I rode around between Bayboro and Aurora. There are a lot of signs today that are old and defunct and are not being used. And a lot of structure out there that maybe those owners will just say, if you'll fix this up, I'll let you use it for free. If you'll start helping make it look better, or for a very low price until someone else wants to get it. Sometimes you can take an old structure like this, it's worth a lot of money advertising-wise, and just redo it, give it a fresh face for a fairly low money. Think about that. I think I counted 25 signs similar to this between Aurora and Bayboro the last time I made that trip. Gave me an idea for this slide. Over on the right-hand side, you see that mailbox? That's a flyer that's folded. That's a piece of paper, been printed, probably cost less than a penny, folded up and hung over that flag. One little piece of tape can hold your fold together, and you can put it over that flag. That probably costs less than a penny, and it's one of the most effective marketing tools for residential and neighborhood marketing that you can do. You can't put that sign inside the mailbox or you'll be breaking the law. But you can slide it over the sign and spend almost no money and get a good message there. That's good for people that's doing cleaning. It's It's good for people mowing grass, pressure washing, or that has a business that's kind of residential feeling to it. Think about ways that you can get your message out there guerrilla style for a very little amount of money. Most advertising money spent by business today is wasted. 99% of it probably. I've wasted millions of dollars in advertising. I get rid return on it. But you know what? When I started applying these values and these techniques, I saw my advertising costs be cut by 2/3 and my business double at the same time. We want to get a return on our investment. Here's a good thing you could do, especially down east, Katie, is to find a group of people, maybe even the business center, doing co-op ads. Share the cost to keep the business down. Sign companies sometimes will give you even a special deal if you're doing this. Look for different ways. And I've had, through the years, our entrepreneurs in these programs to do this, and we put some deals together. I know some sign company executives. You may know some in your area that would love to work with you because they are all about creating business. And when you see a vacant billboard, I want to tell you there's a sign company that is hungry to get somebody started, even if they have to discount it to the nth degree. Methods now. That was media. Let's talk about methods. We're going to talk about 12 here. In your handout, there's 20 listed, so there are others. What are the different methods that you can use to get rolling? Now, I apologize here. We're going to run a few minutes late. If you can stay with me, please do. If you can't, then study your handout. But these are important for you. If you can hang with me and let it soak in, I'd appreciate it. List your profit centers down. Do what you can to create your raving fan customers. Next, we hadn't talked about this. Practice these introductions. People coming into Christina, to Beverly's store, I want them to, when you talk to them, that they feel really welcome coming in and have a sense that you have a lot of confidence in yourself, so they'll have confidence in you and want to give you more money. If you have staff, train them to do introductions. Train them to listen to make a good impression. How many chances do we get to make a first impression? One and one only. You got your website looking good? Are you on postal media? These are methods that you use to get it out there. Another method is with written testimonials. So as soon as you get your store open, as soon as you get running, let's start getting some testimonials and do it. Now, I sent to you an email samples of different ways to encourage people to give you testimonials. The best way is for you to give a testimonial to someone else and ask them to trade back. That's the way to get it started. Why testimonials? Because that takes away the anxiety of someone that's shopping with you and afraid that you're new in business, therefore you may not stay in business, and therefore they're not going to waste their money with you. So practice getting testimonials and using them as best you can. Referrals are important. Branding labels are important. Google locator maps, as we've already talked about. SEO is important. And continuous potential customer visits. You got to stay in touch with them, as we said. The Google locator map, as is shown right here on my web page, right here, you see there, Carver Equipment. Use it. It helps people find you. Now, guerrilla marketing tactics is a whole new subject. Because the gorilla is in the jungle. He pays no attention to rules, and I don't want y'all to break the rules, but I want you to bend them to the nth degree to keep your business going. The use of DBAs is important. The use of Facebook ads are important. The different security comfort methods that you use with testimonials and photos will help you. In your handout, there's a whole lot more listed. DBAs. We're going to have a whole presentation on DBAs a little later up. When you go to the grocery store down the aisle, you'll see the word catalog a lot on that breakfast food aisle, right? Excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups. On the catalogs is all over the place there, right? But you know what? Catalog has 77 or 76 DBAs. They're always changing. They've got their brand name, but also they got their different product DBAs. Why? One company, but they want their products to serve a lot of different customers. Steve-O here is saying, you're one company, but I want your products, even though they're very similar, to be attractive to different customers. That's why we have DBAs and that we use them. Then we use a way to figure our links to load our information to drive traffic to your pages. We do that with Facebook and with eBay very, very effectively. You can put an ad on Facebook and on eBay that will be more powerful about driving customers to your products than any ads you put on your website. I know this because I've tried to beat them so many times with search terms. You can't do it. They're more powerful. So we can't beat them, so let's join them. Use Facebook and eBay to send people to your website. That's right. You can, on Facebook, the ads don't cost you anything, and you can link it back to your website. On eBay, you might have to spend $4 a month to bring a lot of traffic your way. I use both of those very effectively. If you want me to show you how, just let me know. I'll be glad to do it. There's samples in your handouts that show you how to do that. Photos, hospitality messaging, testimonials, can't get past it. Send people, drive people to your testimonials. We hear the old saying, you know, you can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Well, the entrepreneur predator in me tells you, you can make them drink. You can take a customer to your testimonials, and you can make them read them. And you do everything you can to do that. Example, I use a slideshow on my home pages. This ad right here is a slideshow. It goes and comes, but it flashes up here talking about testimonials and actually points a finger right where I want them to click. Be forceful. Be assertive with what you're doing. You can do a very lot with your home pages using slideshows. Develop a plan for each customer, a target group for each customer. And in your target group there, in your handouts, I've showed you lots of different things that you'll want to do for each people. Kind of common sense, nothing special there. I'm going to go through them quick until I get to one place. Now, there are a group of customers in your community that you want their business, but they're not going to do business with you until somebody dies, retires, or moves away. I don't care what business you're in, you need some of these established customers to do business with you, and they could give a hoot whether you're in business or not today because they're not shopping. But you need them. So now we get back to old school. And old school says that you can't just say, I'm never going to make a cold call. I'm never going to put myself in an uncomfortable position that cold calls do. Because when you go cold calling, you're going to meet somebody that is in place. You're going to meet somebody in place to keep you from seeing the decision maker. You don't have someone sitting there with their hand out and says, no, they don't see anybody today, or we don't need anything. You go on about your way. And we call those the gatekeepers. And for someone that had did cold calls for about 10 years in my business, you learn to hate these people. You learn to say, I never want to go back to that place because I'm wasting my time. I can't get to talk to the person that's making the decision. And then, voila, someone will whisper in your ear. And I'm whispering in your ear right now. The key to get those customers that you really want is to make friends with the gatekeepers. Because the gatekeepers are the people that's going to be able to open the door of opportunity for you. You know the opportunity is there. And how does that work? You go there month after month and they just say, no, we're still not needing anything. But you keep coming around every 6 months and you got your business card, or you got some mint candy, or maybe you've got a little flower. You go the extra mile to let that person know that you want them to like you. Whether they act like they like you or not, that's not important, but you want them to know that you want to be a friend with them. You want them to become a raving fan customer even though they're not in a position to give you any business. Are you wasting your time? No, 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 no. It's probably the best time that you'll ever spend. Why? One day Johnny's going to say, the boss, Mr. John, and he'll say, Sally, Timmy's getting ready to retire. He's getting out of the cleaning business, getting out of the welding business. Timmy's getting ready to retire. We don't have to find somebody. He's been with us for 20 years. We don't have to find somebody to help us do this. And Sally's going to sit out and say, well, Mr. John, old Steve-O's been coming by here regularly for about the last 6 months. Seems like a nice fellow. He's starting a business, got a nice business card, presentation. I hear good things about him in the community. You want to interview him, give him a chance? And Mr. Johnson, well, sure, thank you. You'll get more opportunities to go into open doors through the gatekeepers than any other way. More than on the golf course, more than out fishing with them, more than going to church with them. The gatekeepers are people that are trusted by the decision makers. And the more of those you know, the more business will come your way. Because the rest of the story and the by the way is that these gatekeepers, they got friends and neighbors too. And maybe their business doesn't have a position, but they know someone else that's talking about, hey, you know, we need to find someone at our business. Old so-and-so's retiring. And the gatekeeper says, Sally says, well, Chuck's been coming by here on a regular basis. I know this fellow got his card. I think would do you really well. The raving fan customer effect works with you with gatekeepers sometimes better than any other place. So, the Internet's important. Facebook, Google My Business, videos, all these highfalutin special things that we didn't know about 30 years ago, they are so important in 2022. But cold calling can't be beat if you want those very best continuous customers that are going to pay you on time and spend the most business with you. You have to invest in relationship. Computers are not relationships. Email, telephone calls, videos, you got to build relationships into them. But those customers that were going to spend the most money with you, you need to go knock on that door. You can't give up on them just because you're new. Because someone is going to have to die, retire, or move away before you get a chance of doing business with them. Now, I'll give you a personal example that will apply to all of you. We're looking at beautiful Katie sitting right here. In my world, I've got a lot of competition. I mean, a ton of competition. You can't imagine how much competition I've got. People that want this job tonight. And I have to work hard to get deals. And most directors already have their group of presenters that they love and work with and feel comfortable with. It is a hard nut to crack to get into a new position. So therefore, someone usually has to move, retire, or die before the door of opportunity is open to me and all the other people that are hungry campers like I am. And that's the way it is in every business. So know, Chuck, that if you want to do some specialty items for Christina, you need to knock on her door. If there's another gift shop in New Bern that Katie might tell you some others that where your wind chimes or your special items might go really big, you need to go over and knock on the door and show them some stuff. You're not going to be able to do it on the internet. Not the big customers. The little onesies and twosies, maybe so, but the big orders, you got to make an investment and maybe have to put it on a calendar and make that trip once every 6 weeks or once every 2 months to remind them what a great guy you are. Now, each time you go, you're going to get a new email address or something where you can find it, and then you can start sending them and put them in your database and start winning them over. Takes a lot of courting here. One of my customers say, you know, Steve, you got to kiss a lot of frogs to find a prince. I'll tell you that's the truth. Let's get out there and start kissing some frogs. You can wipe your mouth off anytime you need to, but you got to go find those princes for you. Keep the customers coming back. What do you got to have? Mobile page, Google My Business, landing pages, testimonials, YouTube videos. Follow up with your customers. Find that magic marketing moment. Find that way. What are they going to be buying next? That's where you get security in your marketing plan. Make a list of those profit centers. I want to see them. I want to send you a lot of nice certificates. I want Sarita to get real busy making certificates for you. And we want to send them to you. We want to present them to you. And I'll ask Katie still with us to talk about maybe what we're going to do at the end of this thing. It's up to you to find your bright ideas. Stephanie, I've brought you on board because I want a lot of new bright ideas, and I know you're full of them. And we're going to share them with these clients and show them how they can grow their businesses. Help them find you by keeping your spirits high and be excited about this. I am more excited tonight because of the work that y'all are doing than I have ever been in 15 years working with entrepreneurs, because y'all have your shoulder to the wheel in every aspect. You're trying to move forward, and I'm so happy to be a part of taking the ride with you. You got your candles lit, my friends. Let's let them shine. I love you. God bless you. And I'll turn it over to Katie for some comments now. And I just can't wait for y'all to start sending these homework assignments in so we can start printing out certificates. Thank you, Katie. Turn on. We can't hear you. Turn your mic on. Can't hear you. Turn your mic on. Nope.
All right, can you hear me now?
Got you now, baby.
Okay. It's because I unplugged my other computer. If I plugged into my big screen, you can't hear me. I don't really have a lot to add. Just the local people, I put in the chat box about June 30th reception. Just kind of pencil it in on your calendar because we'd love to have all of you there. We have had a commitment from the Pamlico News that they are going to cover this reception and cover you. And people that come to the reception are then going to be featured in the Pamlico News, one by one. So 1 week they'll have an article on Tom. One article will come out to your place, Chuck, Beverly. So they said that they're going to travel around and they'd like to feature new businesses in the area. So she's already committed to that. So that would be wonderful free publicity. And for anybody that's local, that's kind of, especially there's 4 or 5 of you, and the next I'm going to reach out to Tim Caswell as well, who's been in on a couple of our classes. So that's 4 or 5 of you that are going to be featured. So that'll be great. But other than that, there's a lot of material, Steve. I don't want it to, get to that 2-hour mark and you start losing people. So I'm going to, unless they have any questions, I'm going to leave it up to them to ask you.
Well, we're just on a free chat mode right now. Stay as long as you like and share any questions or comments that you have. Let's see, Natin, how do you pronounce this? Natinan? Have you got? Can you turn your mic on and introduce yourself?
Nantanine?
Nantanine.
She said it right.
Okay, good. Where are you located?
There we go.
Where are you located?
Knightdale, North Carolina.
Knightdale, all right. Well, welcome aboard. It's good to have you on board.
Thank you.
What type of business are you doing?
I am undecided, either daycare or adult. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I put you on the spot. That's fine. I asked that because we have lots of study guides for all kinds of businesses that we may have information we can send to help you, and I'm sure your local small business center does as well. So welcome. I hope you'll join us often. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Did you type in?
Anthony, quick question. Is this the first class you've ever been to?
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay. So just for future notice, on the small business centers, on the one most local to you, 100% confidential. So I understand people's reticence to put themselves out there, and especially if they're in a small market where everyone kind of knows each other. So just so you know, if you walk into your local small business center that's located at your community college, as soon as you walk in there and begin that relationship with that person, 100% locked down. Everything's confidential. So you're not going to be sharing your plans with anybody or anything like that. So, and it's very important in a small community like I have here. Everyone knows everybody. So nobody wants to fail and have someone find out about it. No one wants someone to steal their idea. So if you need help, these classes are wonderful. They're all confidential. And then go into your small business center and sign up there, and they sign a disclosure and confidentiality agreement. So
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yes, Natina, if you'll type in your last name and email address on the chat board, we'll be able to send you information, and I'll be glad to share with you the closest small business centers to you, which are in Wake County and Johnston County. And,
Nancy, what are you registered under for this class? A different name or?
No, it's the same name. Just my last name isn't listed.
Okay, great. No problem. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you all.
You're welcome.
Right. Hey, Nicole, good to see you. How's your week going?
Going good.
Good.
Your children still in school?
Yes.
How much longer?
Next week.
Are you happy? You said almost like you're dreading them getting out.
Too soon.
I understand that. I sure do. I bet Stephanie's ready for them to get out, though, aren't you, Stephanie?
I am, but I'll be honest with you, I missed them already.
All right. Good. Any other questions or comments? Christina, thank you for being with us again, and looking forward to getting your video and audio back working, okay? And Sarita, we've been talking about you tonight. You came in a little late, but we had a lot of good things to say about you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm running around to do today, and I'm going in the last hour with y'all.
We were all very impressed with your new video and look forward to seeing more of it. Congratulations for breaking that ice yourself. That's a whole new skill set we can learn. If you're young enough, anyway.
Thank you.
All right. Tom, give us some words of wisdom before we all go to get us some dinner. Close it up.
I'm probably the wrong person for that job. I kind of learned by stumbling through life myself.
Yeah,
but
we all.
I want to chat with you and Katie before we sign off tonight.
All righty. Well, that's great. Well, God bless you all. Happy Memorial Day. Keep the folks.
Nancy, I just one more thing from Nancy. So Wake Tech has one of the best small business center directors in the state. So if I think that's your local community college within your county, but she's on fire. So if you're ready to take any next steps or anything like that, you'll get what you need from her. She's great.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, bye-bye. Happy Memorial
Day.
Day.
Have a great night.
Take care.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Katie.
Yes, Tom?
Steve, I want to say one thing. When's the next time that you're going to be in town down here?
Maybe June 30th.
Probably June 30th.
Sounds like June 30th. Like I say, when you're here on that visit, if you can arrange it, I'd love to have about a half an hour with you to sit down and do a podcast audio interview with you. I'll put you on my podcast. And
would we be able to do that any time of day?
Yeah, whenever suits you. Just let me know. I'll come over. I'm mobile. I'll bring my computer and my microphone. We'll just set up where in the small business center or wherever.
That'd be great.
That'd be fine. Sure would. Now, let me ask you just as a matter of for knowledge, are you able to do Zoom podcast?
I can, and with this, because this connection keeps dropping out so bad on my end anyway. I'm out here in the swamp.
I've got good wireless here. So, Tom, if you wanted to come in here and try to do it with him, that's fine.
Okay, that could work better.
Yeah.
Or
Steve, if you get here early on that day, he can do an interview with you then.
That's what I was thinking.
That's right.
Hang out.
Well, I'm really excited about that. I've done some simulcasts, but I hadn't done any podcasts before.
My plan was to do this with you last week, but I was the only one that showed up at the small visit center. Supposed to be there.
Okay.
Like,
I understand.
But,
Nicole, we're ready to start getting you gals online.
Yes, I'm ready too. My schedule has been so busy. So
now your stuff is going into Beverly's store, right?
Yes.
Yay! That's awesome. I'm gonna go this week. I'm gonna go this weekend. She's having her soft opening. Are you going?
I'm going to be doing an event. We have one at the Salsa Festival.
Okay.
So I'm going by, yes.
Well, so she's open 10 to 5 tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday.
When's the
Yes, I'm going to meet with her tomorrow to take the products and put them in the store.
Good.
And then we'll be good to go.
So when you guys are there, turn the phone around and take a video. Just say, hey, two sisters dropping off my candles at Beverly's place, do a fun selfie, walk around the store, boom, and post it. I mean, that is exactly the type of publicity you need to let people know that it's in the store, and she needs to get people in the store. So it doesn't have to be fancy. It can just be you saying, thanks, Beverly, for having my stuff in the store, or have someone take the two of you, and then post it. And tag anybody that you know, and that's already like, okay, we know where to find your candles.
Do or a Google review too.
It doesn't have to be perfect. And give her a Google review, exactly. So, yeah, we got to get in there and get those stars up there for her.
Yeah, that'd be
But
good.
you're going tomorrow. What time are you going tomorrow, Nicole? Because I'm going to be there tomorrow.
I'm waiting for her to message me back to figure out the time frame. She told me what time that she was going to be there tomorrow.
Okay.
So as soon as she let me know what's a good time, then I'll go by there.
Okay. Maybe I'll see you.
I hope so.
That's awesome.
See you tomorrow.
Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a